Hello family, and welcome to Kami Ideas. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, turn on the post notification bell so you receive notifications whenever I upload a new video. Don't also forget to leave your comments and your suggestions. In today's video, I'm going to share with you some of the expectations of a student nurse while on clinicals. And very soon, most of you will be reporting to nursing training colleges, to the universities to offer nursing, and you would be going for clinicals for the first time. So the first thing I want to share with you is respect. Respect is very key in nursing. And one thing you must know is nursing is just like a paramilitary training. When you're in charges or your senior staff, the senior staff or seniors to you are passing by, you have to be on your feet until you are told to sit. You don't sit when your in charge enters the unit. You don't sit while the nursing manager is passing by. You don't sit while any person superior to you in terms of rank is passing by. You stand for them until they order you to sit down. And then while you are on clinicals, you'll be hearing, go and buy us water, go and buy food for us, go and do this. Don't go and front your face. Don't say it's not part of your schedule book. Why are they sending you on errands? You've not come to learn anything. Probably you are just in your first year. And what respect is key. Like if you go there and you are disrespectful, you might not imagine you disobey a senior and you are coming back to that senior for him or her to teach you something. How will you feel? Guilty, right? You're seeing these things while you're on clinical. So don't go and say you didn't learn anything in the unit. You came and they were sending you up and down. It's all part of the training. They are supposed to be respectful. So do you expect your in charge to leave the unit to go to buy food while you are there? When you see yourself, buy as this, don't be frowning your face. It's normal. So respect is very key. Never forget that value. And the second thing is appearance. While you're on clinicals, just learn to wear, dress or appear according to what you are expected to. If you are if you are a lady, wear your dress 2 inches below your knees. Keep it neat all the time. Wear your apron, wear your cap, wear your breast watch, wear your name tag, wear your black or your brown noiseless shoe according to what you are told to do. And there are some hospitals that they allow you to wear scrubs while you are working and wear uniform home or something. But if you go to a hospital where they wear uniform to work on patients, go by what you are supposed, your dress code. For the guys, wear your clinical coats, put on your necktie, get your watch, maybe your wristwatch or something. As simple as that. Don't go and copy what the staff are doing. You get to the unit and see a staff wearing sandals or slippers in the unit, and you also go and are wearing slippers. When you are copying, emulate the positive things. Don't go and be doing things that you know it's not good. Like, you know, it's not supposed to be done this way. Someone is doing it. You go there, you wear fancy hairstyles, and then you do so many things that you're not expected to do. The third thing I want to talk about is your competencies. You see, before you leave for clinicals, the school in which you attend gives you competencies to be given to your ward in charges. The competencies are just what has been taught you in the school. You go for skills lab in the school, and theoretically you are taught and practically you are taught. So your competencies are just what your teachers think or know very well that you've been taught in practice and you are competent in those areas. So that's what you are supposed to learn for that particular clinicals. And so these competencies will be given to the various ward in charges in the unit where you will go into work. So the in charge can call you at any time. Let me say in your competencies for maybe that particular clinical, so you're supposed to know how to set a trolley for maybe wound dressing, or a tray for serving of medication, or a tray for serving, passing an IV line or a vena puncture, or how to admit a patient, how to discharge a patient, how to take over the ward or hand over the ward. Your competencies shows that you are good at these things. And even when the moment you are giving your competencies and you realize that no, I haven't mastered this thing, you are supposed to learn. When you get to the unit, those are your major things. Like you are supposed to, even though you are not that, let me say, you haven't mastered it so well, but your school is saying you've been taught. What do? You can't deny that you've not been taught. You've been taught. Maybe practically you haven't mastered it so well. So while you are in the unit or in the hospital, your in charge can tell you to do, or you keep an eye, like learn how to do your admission, how the admission is done, handing over is done, and all that. So your competencies are very key, and don't forget that you are not the only one going from your school or your classroom. Other schools will be coming, and you are all in, let me say, first year, second years, and you end up not being able to carry out any of the competencies that have been stated. And then how will you feel? Like that kind of confidence will not be there. But when you know what you're about and you actually practice what you have been expected, or you are able to carry out a procedure successfully, you get that kind of fulfillment that, oh, I've been able to do this thing and I'm happy. So your competencies are very key. So when you find yourself in the unit, you work according to your competencies. I'm not saying you don't do any other thing. And so if your competencies are stated a particular thing for that particular semester, don't go and be trying to do things that are not, you have not even reached. Maybe you're in first year, you are already learning how to set a trolley for, let me say, lumbar puncture. You want to carry out those comprehensive procedures. Your schedule book. You see, nursing training college will give you like the diploma in nursing. You have a schedule book, that green book, where procedures are stated in there. So when you get to the unit, those procedures that are stated there, you will, whatever you carry out in the unit, at the end of the day, will be signed by your in charge, the in charge nurse of the unit. Whichever unit, if you go to the medical unit, in charge will sign your schedule book per the procedures you carry out there. If you go to the OPD, every unit you rotate to, the in charge will have to sign and give a signature to also like to show that you actually did this thing in the ward. So don't go and be writing things that you know you didn't do it in the ward, in the unit, and then you send it for the in charge to just sign, give a signature, and then recommend or give remarks. Oh, very good, competent at these things. Don't forget that those procedures you write in there are the same things that during your final exam. They will take your schedule book and look through to actually see what you did during from your first year to your third year. I observed a lumbar puncture, like a lumbar puncture procedure, and I ticked it in the green in my logbook, like in my schedule book. So during my final year, the chief examiner herself took my schedule book and was like, okay, you've observed this procedure, so go and set a trolley for this. And lumbar puncture, like it's a procedure that's so broad. So I had to run here, come here. I did all that, set the trolley, and she said, okay, Abi, you observed, so practice and like demonstrate. Gave me a student there, they laid the bed. It wasn't easy for me, but the grace of God saw me through. So don't write anything that, so I was not like, I shouldn't have written this thing or something like that. So please, every procedure you record in your clinical book, it's very important. It means you've done it and you can do it very well. So don't go and lie and be taking things that you haven't done. The next thing I want to talk about is observation. Observation is very key in nursing. And as a student nurse on clinicals, you go and they are carrying out procedures, let me say wound dressing. You observe. Your duty, your responsibility is to observe very well. Maybe they are admitting a patient and all that. Observe how it is being done. Carry your diary or just a notebook. Be writing down how things are done. When you see the ward is stable and the senior nurses are kind of relaxed and then workload is not so much on them, you ask them the questions. What for senior, when you were dressing sister or brother, when you were dressing this wound, you did this. You did this and that. What is the reason for this? Why did you use this particular lotion to dress the wound this way? How did you do this procedure like this? Don't go and be asking them questions when they are, let me say, an emergency case. They are carrying out a procedure and you are asking, what did you do? They will shout at you and nobody will even mind you. And then you end up saying they are not teachable, like they don't like to teach, they like shouting at people and all that. Learn when to ask questions and what time. Learn when and how to ask seniors questions, things that you've observed and you don't understand. So observation is key. Don't go and be trying to ask unnecessary questions that they wouldn't mind you at all. Working under supervision. From being a student nurse to even during your national service, you are supposed to work under supervision. You don't go there to carry out procedures on your own. When a senior nurse is not around, you want to serve medication, you feel that maybe you are in second year, band 2, band 3, you'll be carrying out things the way you want. If you don't know and you commit any error out of negligence or out of incompetency, and it results in a case, you'll be held responsible. You don't always cause problem for yourself, but you cause problem for the unit in charge. And so don't feel because you are a senior or you are almost complete, I'm in third year, let me carry out procedures, no one is watching me, and you go and inject in a very different area. You don't, and you end up causing, you might even inject and damage the sciatic nerve of this patient, paralyze the patient. You wouldn't inject well and cause injection abscess. And these cases have been recorded where some people go to certain facilities and then some quack nurses and quack units, some people they will have a particular nurse will inject them and then they have abscesses and they come back with report, and some of them will end up having chronic wounds and all that. So be very, very careful. Don't go and be performing or carrying out procedures under no supervision. So anything you want to try your hands on, ask the unit, the sister or the particular person, the senior nurse, the senior nurses around to guide you, and you carry out the procedure. And the next thing is, I want to talk, I don't know how to put this point, but I want to just say, book knowledge sometimes are not seen in the practical field. And this is, let me explain it in this way. You are in school, you've learned how to lay admission bed, serve this particular medication, maybe cardiac bed, this is how we do it, admitting a patient, this is how we do it, taking over or handing over the ward, this is how we do it, and all that. You realize that most of the things you learn in the book, you hardly see most of the instruments in the unit. Because Ghana is a developing country, book knowledge says you must do according to this. And then you use all the resources you want because you've learned it in the book. You'll be wasting things in the facility. You'll be, when you are called, you will never try your hands on anything. In our hospitals, we learn one of the things we do is improvisation. We improvise a lot of things. You might not even see a kidney dish, maybe at where you see that you need to find yourself, but they are using something as a kidney dish to nurse patients or to carry out their procedures. So you don't go and then pack all the, maybe you have only 20 bed sheets and you pack all, you want to lay admission and this admission bed and cardiac bed because you want to lay your hands on. And when they tell you not to do, you get offended that you are not be able to practice. Go and practice that in your school. When you are in school, use your skills lab very well, because that's where you get almost all of these things. Most of the things you get it in your school. But in the hospital setting, you are likely not to see all these things there. So when you go to the unit, don't carry your book knowledge to the ward. Book practical knowledge to the ward. You might not even see sandbags or whatever bags, like sandbags and all those things. You might not even see it in the unit. And those things are for teaching and learning purposes. Ghana is not like the UK and the US where they are well equipped with everything. We learn to manage. That's why you are doing supply chain management and marketing and all that. So learn to manage your resources. Don't go and carry book knowledge to the unit. We learn to improvise. The next thing I want to talk about is learning by yourself. If I say learning by yourself, let me say you get to the unit and you've observed this particular patient having this condition and you don't understand. You are carrying your diary, write the condition, look at the medication that are being given, write it down, ask questions, ask the senior nurses what these why did they serve this medication, why did they do this, maybe this, they will explain to you this is what this medication does according to, because of this condition, this that they will explain to you. Don't wait for the in charge nurse to leave. You don't expect them to leave people who are in need of care. People are serious, people are ill, and you want them to leave and be teaching you. You might not get that all the time. So write it down, ask questions, learn by yourself. Don't wait for them to say this person is having hypertension. So hypertension, that's why we give this medication. That's why we give this, that's why we give that. You ask, learn by yourself. Learn to write down things and learn by yourself. The last thing I want to talk about is punctuality. As a student nurse, one of the things you should never do is to report to the unit very late. Or late, not even very late. Let me say, you're supposed to report to the ward by 7:30. and you as a student nurse, you are leaving your house exactly 7:30. What time will you get to the unit? And you get there and they've already handed over and taken over the unit. They finished with dusting and you are not coming, and all in the name of where I stay is far. That's not an excuse. Where you stay shouldn't be the reason why you report to the unit late. You are learning and you get to the unit, the in charges get to unit before you. You are supposed to be in the facility before your in charges report. Don't wait until they all come to the ward or report to work before you now be coming. Handing over and taking over was one of my second practical procedure, like one of my second after the lumbar puncture. I think I did handing over and taking over the unit. And it might not be done just like it is, like we are being taught in school. So while like after everything, you can ask, oh, why is this thing not done this way? I learned in school this. They will explain to you that maybe due to time and then per the hospital setting, you have a lot of patients in the unit, and you can't be doing everything. We skip some of the procedures because of those things. You know, this is the right thing that must be done, but it isn't done that way due to circumstances. Okay, so you don't have to, when you report late, you come and they've taken over the ward. You haven't learned anything. So how do you ask questions on it? I pray that what I've shared today will bless you, and then it will help you in your career as a nurse, as a student nurse, while you prepare to write your license nurse, and while you stay in school, while you prepare to go for your clinicals. So this will be ending the video. Stay blessed and looking forward to seeing you in the next one.